One of my aims today is really for the participants to leave with more confidence in their ability to work with people with physical disabilities that they might come in contact with in an artistic setting, so whether that's dance or theatre or movement or whatever their workshop setting might be.
I mean, I was frightened when I've been teaching for, I think, 16 years, and my first years, you know, I've been in quite safe environments. I was working with mixed ability groups, and I was quite happy. And then I got asked to come into a special school that it was children that they were in their chairs all day, and they had no movement, and there was not a lot of interaction. If I was talking, there would be maybe the tiniest thing, and I was intrigued but also frustrated in myself that I wanted to be able to work with these children.
For a long time, disabled people haven't seen themselves as part of the art scene. They haven't seen disabled performers on stage. They haven't seen disabled dancers, so they have assumed that this is not for them. So often when you open the opportunities as a practitioner, people don't necessarily put themselves forward for that. I think people are terrified about getting it wrong, or about injuring people, about not knowing what to do, about saying the wrong thing. And actually I think those fears are real for people, but I don't think they're justified in a way, because if they just asked the questions that they weren't sure about, they would get answers, and no one is going to be offended by someone just trying to do their job better.
I think in my job I meet so many people from different backgrounds. I meet elderly people who are working in Zimmer frames, to young children with learning disabilities, and I love every moment that I meet these people, and I take away a lot, and I hope that they take away a bit from me, but I think it's interaction, bodies and communication.
We started off by getting participants to create a sign name for themselves, so something that's distinct about them, that would be recognised within a community specifically for that person. From that, then we did some crossings where we got one person to stand and the rest of the group signed their sign name to them, to a piece of choosy music. And people then went into small groups of 4 or 5 to create a small piece of, a small movement phrase that was based on the sign names of the 4 or 5 people that were in that group. And they produced some beautiful little nuggets of choreography that you could then make bigger. You could do all sorts of things. I thought it was opening. Nice. Great. Take this at the pace that feels right for you. Think about the rhythm. Think about your physical response to the song.
I ran a workshop. It's specifically geared at working with people that have very little communication, movement-wise and verbally. Usually the children I would work with in this situation are maybe quite passive, and I would always make sure that they could see my face at all times so that they can see me, and you can read them as well. We started off with a very gentle warm-up, which was about touch, and it was about the young person getting used to a touch that's maybe non-medical. We moved on to a second exercise, which was about getting to know your body parts and starting to move, to work with that young person to stretch, and they're used to moving their bodies. We then moved on to a bit about lifting and handling, so we were getting used to moving actually moving somebody in a safe way, but also a creative way in responding to how they're wanting to move. Finishing off with a very gentle, I suppose, kind of last paragraph, saying thank you to your partner for moving, and grounding after moving with your partner.
I think there's still a thing about getting it right, not wanting to hurt people, ensuring that people are there at their own will, that people are not being done to, but they're being done with. And that's a really important thing to have an awareness of.
I'm hoping they have confidence. They have a toolbox so that they know that they can pull on stuff if they ever have the fear, that they know that they can pull on something that they think, oh yeah, this will work. And I hope it's just an understanding of the work that Caroline and me do, and trusting themselves that they can facilitate this work.
I want to create an arts industry, an arts environment that welcomes and values every person that participates in it, and acknowledges that everybody has just as much validity as anyone else.